everybody. So for reading today, we're going to continue our talk about comparing. And remember, we talked about comparing means telling things that are the same. Well, yesterday we took, instead of two texts, we took an apple and we took a lemon. And in one column, we wrote all the details about the apple in column A. And then in column B, we talked about all of those details about the lemon. Well, today we're going to take two texts that we've already read before, and I know you've heard them probably in kindergarten and then I know in first grade, but they're nice and familiar to us, so we can work on comparing them today. So let me go ahead and show you my chart again. Okay, so I created a new type of chart today. We're still working on comparing, but I added some different things. So at the top it said readers compare texts. Okay, so yesterday we talked about listing details. Remember, we listed all the details about the apple in column A, and then in column B we listed all the details about the lemon. Well, today we're going to talk about grouping related information. And that really is that's what comparing means, okay? So down the center, I still kind of stuck with a T chart, even though there's lots of T's in here, okay? But in the center, I put category, okay? So we are going to look at two texts today. We're going to look at the characters in the text. We're going to look at the setting. We're going to look at the problem and solution, and then texts teach us a lesson at the end, okay? And so we're going to look at the lesson that we can learn from each text. So text A today is Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So I'm going to just put up at the top Goldilocks and Three Bears. And then our text B today is going to be the Three Little Pigs. Okay? So those are the two texts that we're going to compare today. All right, so remember, we're going to do one text first, and then we're going to do the other text. We don't want to get all confused. So we want to focus first on Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So when we're thinking back to Goldilocks and the Three Bears, who are the characters? Okay. Did you say the Three Bears? Yeah, obviously the Three Bears are very big characters in Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Okay, so I just kind of made a little sticky note with, that I just dropped, with the Three Bears on it. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that under text A. And what was the other character in Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Can't forget her, right? Is Goldilocks. And if you remember, Goldilocks goes into the Three Bears' house and does all sorts of interesting things. Remember, she tastes the porridge, she sits in their chairs, she sleeps in their beds, all sorts of things like that. So we know that the characters in Goldilocks and the Three Bears are the Three Bears and Goldilocks. So when we're thinking back to the setting of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, do you remember where that takes place? Where's the setting? Well, I know that Goldilocks was in the woods and the Three Bears lived in the woods, and it was their cottage that she, I guess, kind of broke into, right? She was not invited into their cottage. So I just drew a little cottage with some trees. So the setting of Goldilocks and the Three Bears was the cottage in the woods. Now, our third one is the problem and the solution. Okay, so what was the problem? Yeah, are you thinking that Goldilocks kind of went into the cabin, and I remember that she tasted everybody's porridge, but she ate Baby Bear's porridge all up, and she also broke his chair. That's kind of a problem, right? That's not a very nice thing to do, to go into somebody's house uninvited, eat all their food and break their things. Okay, so I think that that's a big problem. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my problem column. Now, I know the solution. I remember the three bears coming home, and what did Goldilocks do once they came home? What'd they do? Or what'd she do? Did you say she ran away? Yeah, that was kind of the solution, that Goldilocks ran away. She was so frightened of those three bears. So that, I guess that's kind of the solution. She ran away. The three bears didn't invite her in, so I guess that was a good solution for them, right? Okay. So when we're thinking about the lesson that we learned from Goldilocks and the three bears, what lesson might we learn from that? Okay, are you thinking that we shouldn't go into other people's homes? And kind of to maybe, she was kind of nosy, I think, and maybe she wasn't minding her own business. So I'm thinking that the lesson is to not go into other people's houses and mind your own business, right? She shouldn't have been in their house. So that is kind of the lesson that we can take away from Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Okay, so nice job. So now we're going to think about our text B, and that is the Three Little Pigs. So already I know you know the main characters in the story, right? Did you say the Three Little Pigs? Yep. So those were the characters in the Three Little Pigs. And what's the other one? Can't forget him, right? The Big Bad Wolf. And I know, look at Mrs. Holman's wolf. Very sad wolf. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that up there too. So our characters for this is the Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf. All right, so let's think about where the setting was. Okay. All right, so I know that the Three Little Pigs had built their little cottages, right? One had made one out of straw. One had made one out of sticks and brick, and the third one made them out of bricks, okay? And that, I know the Big Bad Wolf was in the woods, so they had their little houses in the woods. That's the setting of the Three Little Pigs. And what was the problem in the Three Little Pigs? What did the wolf do to the first two little pigs' houses, right? Of straw and sticks, he blew them down, right? That seems to be a problem for the pigs, right? So we're going to go ahead and mention that the wolf blew down two houses. Now, what was the solution? What happened? Okay, so I remember after the wolf blew down the two pigs' houses, they ran into the house made of bricks, right? And the wolf could not blow down the house of bricks, so the pigs were safe in that house of bricks. So that was the solution to the Three Little Pigs. Okay, so now we need to talk about the lesson learned in the Three Little Pigs. What lesson do you think that, first of all, maybe the Three Little Pigs learned? They learned to build their house, build a sturdy house, right? So the wolf couldn't blow it down. That was definitely a good lesson. Don't build your house of straw. What do you think the wolf learned? Yeah, do you think the wolf maybe learned to maybe mind his own business? Don't chase after those pigs because they're smarter than you. So, yes. So I think the wolf kind of learned to mind his own business, and the pigs also learned to build a sturdy house. All right, so now, boys and girls, what we're going to do is we're going to compare these two stories to see what was similar or the same. Okay? So first of all, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Did you say, I'm going to use my thinking voice now. Did you say that they both had three? This one had three little pigs. This one had three bears. Yeah, and they were all kind of family members, right? The three bears were a mom, dad, and baby. And then the three little pigs were brothers. So they're all family. All right. What about Goldilocks and the Big Bad Wolf? How are they similar? Well, I'm thinking they're similar because they're both kind of the bad guy, right? Even Goldilocks, she's kind of the bad guy she's like intruding into someone's house, and the wolf is kind of like an intruder or a bad guy. All right, so that's something that's similar about the characters, okay? What about the setting? The setting is similar too. Well, the setting, they both happened in like a house or a cottage, right? And in the woods. So that's a similar thing about the setting too. What about the problem? What could be similar about the problem and the solution? So I know that like Goldilocks, she kind of broke the chair. She ate all the porridge, and the wolf, I'm thinking, kind of broke the two houses. So we could see that is similar. Yep. And we talked about too that Goldilocks and the wolf both caused problems. Okay, they caused problems for the three bears and the three little pigs. So those are two similar things. And then the lesson learned on the bottom. The lesson, boys and girls, too, is similar in that, they shouldn't be, my dog is biting my pen. They shouldn't be going into other people's houses. Milo wants to get in on the lesson. They shouldn't be bothering other people. They should be minding their own business. All right. Oh, Milo, no. Oh, gosh, yes. He wants to be. Okay. Anyway, here we go. Sorry. Okay, boys and girls. So now for your job today, I want you to compare two texts. And these are texts that we found on Epic, okay? And we already read them though, but feel free to go back onto Epic and reread them. I want you to compare the stories A Pet for Pete and Pete's Big Lunch. Remember, they were both about Pete the cat. And, oh gosh, he's really, okay. So I want you could even draw a chart like Mrs. Holman did. And Milo, stop. Sorry. All right, and let me know how it goes, boys and girls. And I hope your dog isn't trying to attack you while you're comparing your two stories. All right, parents, if you have any questions about this after, because my dog is going crazy, feel free to message me. All right, thank you. Have a good day.